Live City. What's that on that beat? Live City Clips, Live City Clips. CP332, Blake Griff, DeAndre Butler, and we got Billups in LA. You don't know who.
Welcome back to Sports Rap Live, everybody. We're going to let that song play for a little bit. We're going to switch gears. You know what? Because here in Houston, we got to start looking forward to basketball season once everybody gets over the Texans ills, of course. But you know what? Hey, tonight's been all positive. Been a lot of love from around the country for these Texans. So we will continue to look at the Texans. I know Andrew Martinez, you'll break down the draft. Once we get closer to the draft, whether the Texans need to address. We'll be talking Texans, believe me, year-round. But right now, man, when you hear that song, Lob City, you know we got to take it to the hard courts. And Kadoma is here.
What up, what up?
Man, how are you, sir? What a day, huh?
Man, I'm doing okay. It's been a crazy weekend. A lot of great NFL playoff action. But after the games wound down last night, I tuned into NBA TV. I had to look at the channel guide to remember what number the station was. I've been dealing with all that great football going on. But we tuned in to the Lakers at the Clippers house.
Yeah,
which it's now known as.
That's right, and that's funny because it's the same damn house.
That's right. So they paid the rent check after they left the locker room last night. So that's what I heard.
They're paying rent. Well, we have a very special guest who's on his own little world tour right now as we take you around the world of sports and sneakers, and we're going to tie it all in together lovely in this segment right now because you know when you hear Kadoma's voice,
that's right.
That means it's Htown Sneaker Summit time. We got sneakers on the table. We'll get into that. But my man right here is a big Clippers fan, and I think you should give him the proper introduction, Kadoma.
Right now we have my man Levi Maestro from Maestro Knows on the U.S. tour right now. But he also happens to be a big Clippers fan, so let's get his thought on the game last night.
This is perfect. All I got to come in and say is hello and get straight to it. It was the Clippers house last night, Clippers on the floor, even though there was probably a few more Lakers fans in the building as usual, but the Clippers tickets are going up in sales, so that's good.
Well, the clickers they're being clicked too. That's
they're clicking right now. Absolutely clicking.
Well, let me ask you something, Maestro. Is it true that in Staples Center they sell Lakers and Clippers reversible clothing?
You know, I heard that about the Lakers jerseys. I'm not sure if that's true about the Clippers jerseys or not.
Let me ask Maestro this. Okay, tell people why you are a Clippers fan. Are you from LA? Are you a California kid?
I'm not. I've been out there almost about 6 years now. But I'm just in love with the city, you know. So I feel like I am from it, even though I'm not technically. But my big thing is I'm a fan of players. I'm a fan of dudes with good attitudes. And last year I picked up super heavy on Blake and DJ. And I just liked watching them play a lot. And then turned out the top of this season, they made some moves and got some things together.
Well,
you know?
Obviously, yeah, they're balling now for sure. But were you nervous for a minute because the talk, you know, right off of the lockout was the fact that Chris Paul could end up across the hall. Literally, he could have been playing for the Lakers. And if you pull for the Clippers, you really don't like the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to see them play good ball. I mean, to me, I don't really care about, you know, how often people win in championships, any of that. Like I say, I'm more a fan of individuals' games and individuals' attitudes. It just turns out that the Clippers ended up putting a whole squad together that's pretty killer. So
now, can we see you out there in Staples from time to time watching your team?
I heard some people might have some seats for me this season, so I sure hope so.
Well, it's a quick season, man. It's a 66-game sprint, so you're going to have to get out there quick when you get back from the World Tour. But one player that does play, you know, in the gold team out there is Kobe. And if you've been watching NFL football this weekend, you've seen the new KOBESYSTEM ads and some of the outtakes that are popping up online. But Kadoma has his own KOBESYSTEM conspiracy that I'd like you to get into right now, and we'll see what Maestro thinks about it.
Yeah, I kind of broke it down. You know, the more I looked into it, the KOBESYSTEM and the stern veto of the Paul Gasol trade. But I noticed that the KOBESYSTEM may be, hey, let's get rid of one of our big guys so I can take their points. So I did a little digging here, and I found the points per game from last year. Kobe was averaging 25.3, and Lamar was averaging 14.4. You add those up, you get 40 points a game. So basically, Kobe's taking all Lamar's shots. and it's adding up to 40 points a game. If they would have got rid of Paul Gasol like they were originally intending to, he was averaging 4 more points than Lamar Odom. So Kobe would be averaging close to 50.
Wow. And
That's my take on the Kobe system.
That is the Kobe system, I guess so. The best part about that ad is when Kanye says, yeah, but what about us that are really, really successful? And Kobe kind of gives them an Arian Foster namaste and says, you're welcome.
That's right.
Yes, yes.
So, you know, the Kobe 7s just hit shelves. That's what the Kobe system ad's all about. But Maestro's here tonight. He's doing a USA tour. He just came out with his own shoe on the Vans Vault label that dropped at select accounts such as Nice Kicks up there in Austin. Maestro, why don't you tell us a little bit about your shoe and how it came about and what it was like working with Vans?
We started on this project about 2 years ago. Vans approached me to make some videos for them, and I was basically alluding to the fact that I was looking for a brand to work with that believed in me on more levels than one. You know, I wanted to creatively extend my other interests, and pretty much right away I asked them if I could do a shoe, and they didn't flinch, so we got right to it. I actually made 2 shoes with them in about 6 hours, and they both got produced, or at least samples got produced, and then we ended up picking one because they wanted to make it more like a signature model. So this was the first one I made. This was basically a shoe that if I could go into a store and buy my ideal shoe, this is what it would look like. So it was amazing. They let me do everything I want with it, and it's super, super personal, so it's crazy. Even to look at the side and like see the label, and it says Frones for the color. That's the color gray. They let me name that. That was like my nickname when I was like 5 years old. So it's extremely detailed to the person that I am.
That's cool. I see, for all those that don't know, Vans is the original skateboard shoe. I know Levi's got a deep background in skateboarding. He picked the old school model, which is one of the older Vans skate shoes from back in the day. But I see the box says LM. I guess that's for your initials, Levi Maestro.
Yeah, that's me on there.
And you brought a size 10 up here tonight, and that is for...
That's for Mr. Bun B. I hope. I think he's 10 and a half. They should run just a little bit big.
We all know that for sure.
But why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're doing out on the MK USA tour and what you're planning to hit, where you're headed next?
Yeah, my show goes in and out of series. Usually I run like 10 episodes a season, and then in between those I do off seasons. So I've done New York City edition, tour edition, where I was on tour with a music artist, and another one I always wanted to do was America, because you know, this is the country I was born in, this is the country I live in. I always wanted to show people as much of it as I could, especially people who are from other countries. So started in Los Angeles, running all the way to New York. Just over the course of 2 weeks, I'm driving, and 12 cities I think in total. So I just hit about 6. This is the 7th. I got 5 more to go, and it's been crazy, man. You know, from the different weather changes and going into cities and in betweens. I mean, I bought a birdhouse today. I didn't expect to do in Carmine, Texas. Carmine, as the gentleman told me today. So,
well, for all those unfamiliar with your webisode or whatever you call it, why don't you tell us a little bit about it and who you featured and where they can find it?
It's all at maestronose.com. Man, basically the idea is that it's a show about my life that I make. So I'm the host, the personality, but I also cut it, I edit it. I shoot it, I cut it, and it's just been almost about 3 years now. It's about 60 episodes. I feature my friends, you know, people I have personal relationships with, and all creative. So whether it be music artists, NBA athlete, photographers, stylists, it's pretty
Sports
unique.
talk radio shows.
Sports talk radio.
That's right, man. Well, what did you do while you've been in Houston? Tell us some of the highlights of your trip.
I just got here like 4 hours ago. So I checked into my hotel, and I went and got some food at a Mediterranean spot.
All right. Shout out to Peter Pal, Mediterranean food. Yep.
But this is my 4th time here, so you know, I enjoy it, and I just feel definitely a warm embrace every time. So I super appreciate it.
Can I ask you something? With, of course, if you guys are watching the podcast at sportsrapplive.com, that's rap with 2 P's. My daughter's feeling this right here. The bottom of this sneaker, of course, you can check it out on the podcast once we get them posted up. And we've had these on as our sneak of the week, actually.
Oh, nice.
A couple weeks ago. You didn't even know.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, I went in Austin, picked them up from Nice Kicks, got them here, got them back there safe and sound, got Kadoma size 11 right here on the table. But what is the inspiration of the colors on the bottom of this shoe so I can tell my daughter Franny?
Yeah, I can't actually take full credit. What it is, I had a couple pairs of Vans that had a 3-color bottom that they had produced, and I loved it so much. I thought it was real unique. And 7 is the number of completion, so this was one of the completions of my long-term goals, and I just wanted to run it the whole way. I never saw a shoe that had that much going on the bottom, so I just figured, hey, can we do this? And they made it happen.
Well, it's great because it's such a simple upper.
Exactly.
You know, and then it's almost like I don't even need to show my colors right there. My colors are complete.
Yeah.
And it's right there on the bottom, as you said. So
it's something to talk about. You know what I mean? That's something that's kind of good to do with everything in life. You give people something to talk about, and it's going to be a success for you. Whether they do like it or whether they don't, it's still there. They can think what they will of it. But personally, I dig it. So. And
you actually have a T-shirt you're selling on the tour that kind of showcases the bottom of that shoe. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we shot a photo of a dear friend of mine wearing them. Her name's Siami Kwan, and it's pretty simple. Got a little creative with it. I wanted it to be something where you could see the detail of the shoe, but also see her as well, and it came out dope. So.
Can they find those online or?
Yeah, they're January 20th on LeviMaestro.com. They're going to be for sale. I think there's a little less than 100 of them. We had them at a couple in-stores and the like, and it's cool. It's cut and sew, actually made in downtown Los Angeles. I'm preparing to launch a brand this March, so it's blanks I'm going to be using for that. And
I think one of your episodes, one of your recent visit here, you also filmed Bun B, who just happens to be in studio tonight.
Yeah, not recent enough. It's already been almost 2 years. We're going to get it together again, maybe tomorrow. Trying to get him to take me fishing.
Yeah, we got to get back in. That's what we're trying to do. Because he's like, we want to do something different. And I was like, well, something that I've been doing a lot more of lately has been fishing. And so he was like, man, can we go fishing? So I don't know. It's, we miss fishing at so we would have to get up by like maybe 4:30 tomorrow and get out there by like 5 a.m. to give it a shot. So I don't know. You look tired already. You look like that highway got you tired.
If you're ready, I'm ready, man.
But we'll figure something out, man. We got to do something special, while he's in town. It's always good to see, free-minded individuals like yourself come in town and, inspire people to just follow their dreams. I know you're a person who literally has been able to make a lot of things that you envision in your mind actually come through in the physical sense. And, I'm definitely inspired by you and your drive. I was curious with this shoe, was there anything that they didn't let you do? Because it seems like you got pretty much a free reign. Was there anything that you wanted to do with the shoe that you didn't do, or didn't maybe come across through the shoe that you wanted the shoe to say?
Yeah, I tried to sneak my name onto the skateboard on the back, on the heel tab. It has like the classic Van skateboard that usually says Vans off the wall. It says Vault now because that's the tier of the line that's for, but I wanted to put Maestros off the wall, and they didn't ever do that one.
You should have went for it on the box.
And we didn't have time to do it because that was another thing. I wanted to make the box shaped like a skateboard, like this actual skateboard on top, but it was going to require some extra time, and it barely made it in time for holiday.
So is this one of one, or will we see more of the Maestro collection as far as shoes are concerned through Vans, or will there be any more Vans vaults or any other styles that you're going to be doing in the future?
That's a great question. I'd love to get the other model that I did produce.
Yeah, I
can only hope for the best.
I remember last time you were here in Houston with your timepiece or timeless piece, infinity piece. Yeah. You showed me a picture of the shoe. I remember it being burgundy, I want to say.
There's a burgundy high top one.
Wow.
It's very similar looking. It's actually a different model, but it's a similar silhouette.
Sports Rap Live exclusive for everyone
right
tuned
there.
in.
Hey, well, if you want to get on the line and talk to the man exclusively, Kadoma, why don't you give out the number?
713-212-5790, live in studio with Levi Levi Maestro from maestronose.com. Currently on his MKUSA tour with his brand new Vans old school shoe across the country.
Let me ask Maestro this. Are you a fan of any other sports? We talked about your love for basketball and the players in basketball and good, clean basketball. What other sports influence you, or what other sports do you follow?
Yeah, I guess people don't really determine the sport a lot of times, but in my mind it is. So I definitely, skateboarding has been a part of my life for like 14 years. And it totally consumed me. So until about a year and a half ago, when I started getting in touch with some NBA dudes and started filming them, I really began interest back into basketball. But I don't really follow any others too much more than that.
Soccer?
I really like soccer. Soccer was what I was best at when I played as a kid. But I don't know. It's just, it's something about NBA, man, that it just is so much more enticing to watch. They just look more like athletes than anybody else, and there's just so much of a prestige to the game, I guess.
Especially Blake Griffin. I mean, that's like watching a video game. He's on fire.
Yeah, he is. Lob City. Let me ask you real quick. What about the LeBron, the design of the LeBron sneaker? Is that something that you are into, or do you think it's a little too much?
Yeah, it's not particularly my thing, but they do a real good job time after time. Anybody that can, I mean, his shoe is like a franchise, you know what I mean? And that's pretty difficult to do, even when you're a player that big, because a lot of people's shoes just don't come out that well. For them to be able to, what's he on his 8th one?
He's 9 now.
There you go.
Yeah.
Jeez, I'm 2 behind. So for them to do that many of them and him still be such a
household name,
it's pretty remarkable.
All right, well, what's your favorite sneaker aside from Vans?
From my own?
Yep. We always ask everybody, right, Bun? We ask everybody sometimes I'll ask your top 3. Just give me, what's your favorite sneaker other than rocking Vans?
Yeah, the Jordan 1, absolutely. Yeah, the black and red and the black and blue, I just don't see how you're getting them much better than that. It was funny today when I bought this birdhouse, this old man, I had some Converse on today, and he asked me, he's like, are them those Air Jordan shoes?
Oh, wow.
We have it on camera, too. I have you crack it up. But yeah, the Jordan 1, probably the Adidas, the Superstar 80s, like the Superstar Vintage. And the third one, Chuck Taylor high top. It's just so classic.
There you go. And you got nice print on there.
Yeah, those are the Chuck Taylor Missoni. Is that how you pronounce it? But it's actually an Italian fabric company that he's got some colorful fabrics on the shoes. If anybody searches Missoni, you'll see.
It's how you get all the girls, man.
Yeah, they're very popular for their colorful fabrics, and those aren't cheap either.
Well, not only that, a lot of people made a big deal about the Concord release this past Christmas and all the, the madness that went along with that.
Right.
Man, women were just as crazy about Missoni at Target a few months back. They were.
That's a great point. They absolutely were.
What? Oh, H&M. Yeah, see? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Gon.
And there's probably some girls that ain't wearing that Versace.
So where do you head next, man?
We go to New Orleans after this.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a real quick trip from here. It's New Orleans, Atlanta. I'm doing the in-store at Wish, and then D.C. and New York.
All right.
So.
Man.
Oh, Charlotte's in there, too. Charlotte, too.
On the road. Well, we appreciate you stopping by, man. Giving time to us.
Thank you for having me.
This is a new venture for us. And one of the biggest, one of the biggest responses we got so far is the fact that we don't just break down sports. We talk about fashion. We talk about culture. We talk about music. We talk about sneakers. And what? That's how we do it here on Sports App Live.
Yeah, that's what's up. We're going to get back into the sports talk, but Levi will be in studio with us all night. So if you want to get on the phone with him, give us a call, 713-212-5790.
That's right.
And we'll get Levi back on the mic.
That's funny. I asked you about soccer because we got our own Soccer Talk Luis here. We promised him he could break down the MLS draft, which just happened. Of course, Major League Soccer is the 6th or 7th most popular Major League sports league, right after pro disc golf and billiards, mid soccer. Well, all right, let's get him on. No, go ahead, Maestro.
I was gonna say, actually, I think I'm headed out to Barcelona next month to be filming with FC Barcelona. So I might know a little more if you have me back next time.
Okay, well, hey, bring a little something back for Soccer Talker Luis, man. All right, Soccer Talker. We've talked a lot about football. We've been, knee deep in it tonight, and we got some good Texans talk in, of course, right here on Sports Talk 790 all week long. Check out the big show. Check out the Mighty Gwen. Check out Matt Thomas in the afternoon, and of course, Charlie Palillo for the drive home for all the Texans talk. But we only have 2 hours, so we got to keep it moving. And I want to know some of your thoughts. Just give us some things to look at right now, Luis, and you're going to start joining us more and more in the spring as we get closer to the MLS season.
Well, thank you for having me on. Well, as you know, this past week on Thursday, we had the MLS Draft 2012, and Dynamo, which I represent the Houston team, Houston Dynamo, got lucked out, and they got a great player, 18th pick, in Colin Rolfe out of Louisville, who was a projected first pick last year, but decided to stay for his senior year and stayed in school, and his stock dropped all the way down to the 18 and got selected by the Dynamo.
Now, of course, the Dynamo, they selected 18th because they had a good season, and they did make a run to the finals, to the MLS Cup. Of course, the Galaxy won that. David Beckham says he is coming back for another season with the Galaxy. We have a rematch game coming up sometime in the spring. But yeah, so if the Houston Dynamo team is able to pick up a player like that would slip and have a run to the finals, I'd say that they did pretty good for themselves.
Did pretty good. They were the underdogs throughout the whole season. Nobody expected them to go all the way to the finals, and they made it to the finals. And they were the youngest team in the league, even with formerly player Brian Ching.
Formerly
with Brian Ching.
Now, Brian Ching, last time we heard from you, Brian Ching had retired because he was a little butthurt that he was going to be put up for the expansion drive.
Yeah, and this week he came back out of retirement, and I quote, "I will not be dictated into retirement," which means he will play 1 year with Montreal, and rumor has it he's going to just fulfill that 1 year commit with Montreal and come back the following year and re-sign with the Houston Dynamo.
And how do you feel about that, Luis?
I mean, he's a great player. He brought a lot to this franchise, even though he had his up and downs. But he did put Houston in a map for the MLS. And I would like to see him retire as a Houston Dynamo, unlike other players like Hakeem Olajuwon or Earl Campbell, who left. They forced him out the city. It would be a great for Brian Ching to retire as a Houston Dynamo. At least play 1 year at the new stadium, and that's all he wanted, was to play 1 year here and retire. But he was forced into the expansion list, and he got selected, and now he's going to do what he got to do over there, and then hopefully he comes back 1 year here, fulfills his dream, and playing in a new stadium that he dreamed to play off, and just retire and then join the front office the following year.
I was really shocked that he didn't go Steve Francis and say, "Hey, I built that Easter basket myself, hand by hand, brick by brick." But I think Ching, he's one of those icons, sports icons here in Houston. He was on the back-to-back championship teams here. For a while there, when everybody thought soccer could actually become a real sport here in the United States and start taking over, major league ratings and major league popularity, which I think maybe, beyond our lifetime might happen, but not while Andrew Martinez is living. I kid. But you know what? Hey, maybe that's the best thing for him. Go up there, help get another franchise off the ground, and then come back and retire here.
So that's what you got to do. And speaking of retirements, one of the last two original Dynamo players left in the team is Eddie Robinson and Brad Davis. And Eddie Robinson announced his retirement the other day, and just showing what a class act organization the Houston Dynamo is. They're gonna let Eddie Robinson coach the UA 16 age Dynamo team. He'll be the head coach. He's gonna do some color commentary for the Dynamo. And then there's only one original Dynamo left that was with formerly the San Jose Earthquakes, and that's Brad Davis. Coming to spring training, as everyone knows, he was a big factor in the team making that run to the MLS Cup. Unfortunately, he tore his quad in the Eastern Conference Finals, and right now he's not that healthy right now. So coming to spring training, which starts next week, is a big question if he's 100%. But he's going to take his time, heal that injury, and be ready for the season opener. So that's what we're looking forward to.
Well, tell all the Dynamo fan out there, when is the season opener? When does the new stadium open?
The new stadium for the home opener opens May 12th against DC United. So tickets will be available soon. So just stay tuned. Watch out on HoustonDynamo.com and try to catch your season tickets because it's going to be on May 12th. So.
All right, May 12th. And if you want to follow the Soccer Talker, it's at
Soccer Talk Luis at Twitter. So just follow me, and I will have a special prize for my every 100th follower. So if y'all follow me, y'all stay tuned. I will be
free
giving away
free
tickets is what I free tickets.
All right, you guys follow Luis on Twitter. Hey, if you got a soccer take or you got any takes about our show tonight, we're rolling extra bonus time tonight. We're going till 10 o'clock. You can call us at 713-212-5790 right here on Sports Rap Live.